Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the final project document which is already available in Moodle. I am recording this video in order to enable for you to understand what are the important essential elements that you need to take into consideration while doing this project. First of all, remember there is no final exam for this project, for this course, sorry. So this project is the final exam. So you have to take the utmost care to see that the project that you are going to develop is of very good and high quality. This is what is importantly and expected from you. Now the date of release was 3rd May. Already it was released on the day and you have to give it back to us on 7th June. This is very important for you to know. What actually we are going to do is that you are going to develop a workable prototype. You know what is a workable prototype? Prototype is not the exact system, but it is something like a system you are going to develop using Visual Basic 2010. You will present your software prototype which you develop into the jury of the people who will be sitting to evaluate your project to prepare supporting documents which are needed for the development of software application. Please note these points in your mind. Number one, it is an individual work, as I told you. It's not a group work. You have to choose a topic and you have to inform your teacher within 1 week after the release of the project. That is after 3 May, within 10 May, you have to tell this is my project title. And after that, you don't have any right to change it because you cannot come and say in the last week of May or the first week of June to inform that I find that project is difficult, I want to change it. That is not possible. Please note it down. You can choose any company that you would like to do and just develop the workable prototype, not the full system, because we know we are giving you only 3 weeks or 4 weeks time. Maybe it is not possible to develop a full system, but you will apply all the concepts that you learned in programming in Visual Basic to build a prototype. So you will be using all the concepts of programming whichever you learned in the course to be applied. Okay, you can refer to the model programs taught to the students in the class. We have already covered 36 different programs using various ideas. All the 36 you cannot use in your project. You can use whichever is feasible for you to be used. You can use those things in your project. No late submissions are acceptable and it will lead to 0 grade. Some students may have the opinion only the presentation is 5 marks. I will submit it and I will get 35 marks. Project presentation is very important and without that you will not be given any marks. Any form of collusion or plagiarism or outsourcing. You know what is collusion? Working with your friend. Plagiarism means copying other people's code or other people's work and just putting it as your work. Or outsourcing. This will lead to 0 marks. You need to submit the project only as a soft copy. No need of giving any hard copy in my office. There is no need for this one. So I think this is clear up to this point for all of you. The project is divided into 7 parts. The first one is algorithm and flowchart. You are going to design the five forms. Remember how many forms you are going to have in this project? 5 forms you are going to have. Each form you are going to design the algorithm and flowchart for each of these 5 forms that you are going to have. So there are going to be 5 algorithms and there are going to be 5 flowcharts. So you will get 5 mark for that one. Each one will have half mark. After that you will design the appropriate user interface. The user interface is nothing but the forms. You should use various controls like radio button, checkbox, text box, date time picker, combo box, text box, rich text box, labels, many things we have seen. But now a question will come to you. Do I need to use all the controls in all the forms? No. You can use some controls in form 1, some controls in form 2, some controls in form 3. But try to use a variety of controls. They should be having at least 5 user interface. That means 5 forms you should have. Each form will get you 2 marks. Now, after you design the form, you have to apply the various features of changing the property such as color, changing the property of color. For example, color, size, background color of the form, many things. Whichever you are going to apply, you have to apply it here. Font color and any other properties relevant to the control which you have selected, you have to apply it here. This is very important for you to make a note, okay, which are relevant to your tool. Changing the form properties, not only the property of the controls, but also changing the form properties is very important to give a consistent look to all the 5 forms. Okay, to make it more attractive, maybe you can add a background picture, maybe you can add something like this, so it will be considered and 5 marks will be given for this one. This fourth part, which is called creativity and innovation, is all about including a new feature of Visual Basic which has not been taught in the class. Like, I did not teach you using timer toolbox or progress bar toolbox. If you can include such new toolbox, any one only, not many, any one, if you are going to use it, and you will get 5 mark for it, because you are going to refer to internet for additional details and you will use that one to find out that information. Is that clear? You will not just say that it is not taught to me. This is what I actually want to see, how you are able to do it. That's it. I hope it is clear for you now. The next one is actually about the creativity and innovation. When I am going to design the forms, after that you have to write the code, as you always did in the class. For any user interface, any screen you develop, you are going to develop what? The program code. So you have to declare the variables. Whatever I have ticked in red, you have to see. It should be there. For this one, for example, database connectivity, yes, a new one. If you can see here, for this one I have put a document, how to do the step, how to connect the user interface, like how to connect the user interface with MS Access. A file is there in the Moodle. You can use that idea and you can do it. Probably I will also put a video on that one later. Okay, now various methods of output, all these things should be there. When you are going to give me the project documentation, please, you have to explain about your system first. Then, like for example, if you have SAS system, what are the functionalities? Attendance, you can check the number of days the student is absent. This is a functionality. You can enter the attendance, data capturing. This is another functionality of the system. You can check and issue the warning to the student. That is another functionality of the system. These are called functionalities. So you are going to explain what are the processes and functionalities that are covered in the 5 forms in your system. The flowchart and algorithm should be there. Sample screenshots of the user interface from the Visual Basic, you can paste it to Word and you can put it. You also can put the program code. So these are the things that are expected to be seen. When the last 5 mark is given for the presentation of the project, where you can see these things will be considered. Number 1, having a good tool like PowerPoint slides, because 5 minutes may be given to each student, because 21 students are there. So we give 5 minutes. In 1 hour we can only cover 12 students. In 2 hours we can cover 24 students. So we need 2.5 hours to complete the whole process. So we will actually give 5 to 7 minutes maximum to each student to present the work. And you will explain it very clearly, and you should have confidence level. How do you handle the question? When the question is posed to you, how are you going to handle, and what's your time management strategy, and the command of the language will be considered. Please remember, the last day to submit your project is 7 June. You cannot expect that I can give on 10 June, because 8 and 9 maybe the presentation is over and the marks are finalized. Already 1 month, more than a month is given for you to complete the project. Still, if you have any questions, you can ask me during the interactive session in the next week when we have our class. Thank you and see you then. Assalamu alaikum.